Evening, everyone, as I try to fix camera here so that I am in the middle of this frame. I feel like I'm not in the middle of this frame right now. Okay. Okay, hold on. Maybe it's because of my spine. But okay. So I actually put something on hold at the library, which I thought was a very short story, but it's kind of longish. And it's called The Beast Within, A Tale of Beauty's Prince by Serena Valentino. It's basically describing kind of like the beast side of the story, because we're kind of always on Belle's side during Beauty and the Beast. This is a really wonderful jacket cover that it's on here. So like you get the half of Beast's face, but I kind of would have liked if they had his human side on this side here. Because it would be like, you know, it's happening, like it's what happens in the story. But, okay. So, it follows the basic path line of the movie and, like, the storyline that is in the movie. But, a lot of stuff this woman changed. And it's not like it happened in the movie. I was very disappointed about those parts. Like how, when Beast gives his library as a gift to Belle. And he's, like, wondering, kind of like, what to do for her. And, I don't know, basically just how to say thank you, kind of, I'm thinking. And, like, you know how he has Lumiere and Cogsworth kind of, like, standing on the ledge that he's leaning against. And they're all looking down at Belle, playing with Philippe. Well, some reason, he doesn't see Lumiere and Cogsworth for some reason. I don't know why. And for some reason, Philippe is not here, because in another part here, we get to have, like, some kind of, like, we get two kind of point of views from Belle's side. When she's running in the forest, this woman says she's alone. She's not alone. She took Philippe with her. And, like, that's not what happened. She's taking stuff out that happened in the movie, and that's the actual... that kind of stuff just kind of pissed me off. But some of the stuff, like the Enchantress, how that kind of works. And, it's not the way I would have liked it, but it was an interesting twist that I was saying to myself, alright, that's okay. It's not exactly what, I've come to know from, my Disney movies, like, Beauty and the Beast and, the Beauty and Beast and Enchanted Christmas. Those are, like, the two big movies from Beauty and the Beast. Because we get to see a more animated version of how he is transformed. Like, it's different in here. But it's an okay difference. But in here, he doesn't see his servants And that's just it's stupid, because how is he supposed to figure some of this stuff out, and how he just stuff without being able to talk to his servants? Like, they're there, they talk to him, and he talks to them. He can see the sorry about my pits. Like, he can see them and he can talk to them. Just like, and what's other parts? I don't want to get too much into this because I don't want to completely ruin what's going on in here. I'm not a huge fan of the way she prolonged the time of him turning into the beast. I'm not a huge fan, but I think it was interesting. But what something that I did like was that supposedly he was very integrated in with the village around near him. And with this curse, part of it was like he somehow forgot most of his life. That I don't want to give away any spoilers. Like, that's the only part that I'm going to give away. And apparently there's this, when he's still a very arrogant, vain prince, there's this ball that happens, and he has all these women, because he's trying to find a suitable replacement to this woman that he was seeing. And I don't want to get into that because that's part of like the interesting stuff that I liked about it. But anyway, anyway, this ball for finding a suitable bride. He apparently sees the back of this woman's head, and it's supposedly supposed to be Belle. But I can understand with part of the curse being like people forgetting about him, and like him just like completely disappearing from their minds, like this chunk of like it just disappearing. And it's not like it's like amnesia, or it's something like there's a part of my brain that's missing and it hurts so much when I try and think about it. It's just something that faded from their brain, and it just everything kind of like say in a timeline, here and here were like some kind of like involvement with Adam. That's his name. The other part I didn't like about this was that he has an actual name. His name is Adam. But every time it says when Adam is talking, it's either the beast says something or Prince. It's like, seriously, he has a freaking name. It just annoyed me. But with this memory fading thing, like say these two parts have some involvement of the prince, of Adam, they kind of disappeared, and like that's that gap kind of just like disappeared. So like these things, the other memories kind of like fused together. That's what I get from that part of the curse. And just like when and I really didn't like when she, when she leaves the castle, and then she's alone. It just annoyed me so much as, like, she had Philippe there. Philippe was there with her. She rode him in, then she rides him out, and just like, oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with you? Excuse my language. But seriously, if you're gonna write this, and it's gonna be the Disney version, follow what the freaking movie has said. It's like, seriously, that's already printed. This movie came before this, okay? Do it right. You can, like, all this other stuff, perfectly fine. Since reading this, I actually want to write a proper story with, like, stuff that happens in here, and, like, just, it's annoying. But other than that, other than those things, it was a really interesting story, and I liked kind of reading his point of view and how, like, he turned into the Beast. But we don't go too much into, like, how he progresses to falling in love with Belle. Like, we find all this stuff about how he progressed to, like, how he was, like, we kind of knew he was, like, a vain, arrogant prince, but you follow this progression of how he slowly becomes this, the Beast, and, like, how his basically you follow how his personality changes, and how slowly his appearance starts, like, apparently he starts seeing some lines. And, like, that, his outward appearance is kind of jumped. But his, like, his personality and, like, stuff inward, you follow that kind of progress. But you don't follow the progress of how he falls in love with Belle. Like, you find out, like, after the wolf attack, he gifts her the library, and basically it's just like, we only see it in the point, we only see, like, we only hear, like, fragments of it, of how he progresses from because I don't want to spoil it. I just want to say, like, the Enchantress's point of view from her side, because, like, because she put the curse on him, and basically, I think if anyone has put a curse on them, and they're like, if you want to become, basically this, I'm going to say, if you want to become human again, you have to change your ways. So, if someone does that, they would want to watch this person, how they progress in their life, and so, we see it from the Enchantress's point of view, of very small snippets from the view. So, like, saying, like, oh, I don't like how they're playing the snow, and, like, they're all bashful in front of each other, and, like, stuff like that. It's just kind of, I want to, if you're going to tell us his point of view, and how he progresses through the whole kind of movie, I want to know from his point of view. I want that part to be longer. I want to know all the stages and stuff like that. Just like, oh my god. But all this stuff means, like, I'm very invested in this. Like, I love Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is, like, my top favorite fairy tale, especially Disney's version of it. I love it so much, and just, like, I wanted to read this because, like, I love it so much, and it's good to know his point of view. But when it's not exactly she butchered it, but it's like you ruined some of the things that was, like, just makes your heart flutter, and, like, and just basically, like, gets you into the story and into the fairy tale and the romance and stuff like that. I wanted to know how he, like, did the romance and stuff. Like, how he did that. And, like, excuse the nose, and still a little bit sick. And how, like, how the, the house ornaments, like, the servants, ornament servant, the household ornament servant stuff, them, like this, okay, the servants, the enchanted servants, how they interacted with him, but yes, for those of you who love fairy tales and Disney and Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that, I do recommend reading this because it is an interesting point of view, how she wrote it. And, like, some things are like, okay, now I understand, like, where he came from. Because we only see the point where, when Belle comes into the story, we don't completely know how he came to be a beast. Well, we kind of do, but how, like, he progressed to this, like, very angry, character that we see in the movie. Because, like, when we first meet him, we only know he's, like, a very angry and, I guess, maybe, like, nervous, kind of paranoid thing, because if I'm correct, she only spends a year with him. So, he's 20 and he's, like, kind of panicking because the Enchantress only gave him till his 21st birthday to break the curse. So, crap, I lost my train of thought. But basically, we find out, like, this, you find out, like, how he progressed into, like, this beast. How he progresses into the beast. I'll sit over this side since it works better. And, this is a juvenile book. And you can see here, it's only marked with a J. It's marked with a J, so this is, like, this can be read to your children, and your children can read this. So, yeah, reading this just makes me want to watch Beauty and the Beast, and I will after I get this video done. And it's almost going to be half an hour, this video. Oh my god. Just because I have a lot to say about this. Well, I'm going to read the little thing here because I never got the chance to read it to you. The tale is as old as time. The tale is as old as time. Oh, I hate this little thing that's here. Time. A cruel prince is transformed into a beast. A lovely maiden comes into his comes into this monster's life. Oh my god. He is transformed by her compassion and the love he feels for her in return. The two live happily ever after. Sorry. It's just hard with the sticker things. It kind of blocks some of the words. But any tale, especially one as storied as Beauty and the Beast, has been told many different times, and in many different ways. No matter which version one hears, the nagging question remains. What was it that transformed the prince into the beast we are introduced to? This is one version. Pulled from the many passed down through the ages. It's a story of vanity arrogance, of love and hatred, of beastliness, and, of course, of beauty. Sorry, it was a little staggering thing, whatever it is. And that's this. So, yeah. I'm gonna start reading this book since I don't have any other books on hold that have come in. And I already did all that stuff, so I don't have to do it. Alright, so it's just about under 25 minutes, which is a good job. Woohoo! Alright, good night, everyone.